live. Hey guys, welcome back. It's me, Tara, with our Live Pro Talk. And today we have a really interesting, so we're going to do something a little bit different. Today we're going to actually watch some videos of our worst and best installations. Now, I have not had the pleasure of seeing these, so I'm literally going to react to these as I watch them myself. So, let's start off with the first one. We'll kind of go from there. I have no clue what we're doing first. So, all right, guys, let's see. What's our first video right now? Which one? Oh, I know this guy. He is so awesome. Okay, this guy's like amazing. I don't know who does the cuts on these systems, but honestly, like every single one looks so amazing when he puts them on. I've seen this guy before. Yeah. Like, come on. So, like, literally, he's putting a piece on, and it looks like his head every single time. So, whoever does the cuts on these systems, like, kudos to you, man, because these are, like, amazing. Like, he's not even doing anything. And look how great, a blonde. Like, is the blonde gonna look good? If he can make the blonde look good, then honestly, this stylist can come work for us anytime. Well, I don't know. The blonde didn't look that great. But the rest of them were like spot on. So honestly, that being said, okay, a good installation is gonna make or break a hair system. That really is actually the case. Like, I don't care how bald you are. Like, if you have the right piece and the right haircut, I mean, they can look that good. So kudos to whoever the stylist was, because honestly, they did like an amazing job. Like, that is so good. All right. Okay. I like this one. I like this guy. He can just come and dance for us, I think. All right. Next one. This guy's cool. Okay. I got an installation here. Okay, I'm thinking this is probably ghost. Maybe? No. Ultra hold, perhaps? This person's having a little bit of problems. The piece is getting a little bit stuck. Okay, yeah. One of the biggest things when you're doing an installation with glue, you gotta be like really careful when you're putting that piece on. Yeah, getting hair stuck in the sides, that's a big pain in the butt. You really do want to make sure you're taking your time. I know she's going slowly, but you want to make sure that like that hair is not in the way in the first place. I can also see that the top of the system's actually starting to bend on itself. So one of the things that you have to really be careful with is when you're attaching a system and it's fully glued and the head's fully glued, like I'm talking, there's a lot of adhesive going on. It takes 2 seconds for that system to literally fold on itself, and now you have it folded on itself and you're still trying to put it on and the hair's getting stuck in. So you really want to make sure you take the time. To me, it looks like that hair's a little too dry. So if she had that hair a little bit more damp, the hair would have kind of stayed out of the way a little bit better rather than being too fluffy and sticking onto itself. So I would say in a situation like this, you want to make sure that that hair's good and damp before you start putting on the adhesives. Yes, the base has to be nice and dry, but the hair could be more damp. It's going to give you more control of that hair instead of having it get into all the hairs. Because honestly, like I've had this happen. So, you know, I wouldn't say this is the worst because I think we've all, as stylists doing this, have had this happen at one point in time or another. So, yeah, it's not too bad. I understand what's going on, but yeah, just kind of dampening that hair up a little bit more and having a little bit wet would make it easier. And then, yeah, just taking your time because really that's the hardest part when you're dealing with glues. I know for me anyway. All right, not too bad. I wouldn't say it's not the worst by any means. Okay, next one. What are they doing? What is that? Is that a, oh, he looks like he's popping a pimple. Oh, like, you know what they think that, I don't know, anyway. I don't know, maybe I'm the only one who watches those disgusting videos, but I've seen them where they pop pimples. Okay, so he's doing the method where he's applying the cotton on top and then scraping it off. And it looks like he's using a headband, which is kind of cool. Like, I mean, I've never seen it done with a headband. Yeah, this is where it looks like he's trying to pop a pimple. That's definitely interesting though. You know what? Actually, it's pretty smart. Like, I'm not gonna lie. It's you know, it's kind of serrated, so it's gonna kind of scrape at the stuff and get everything off. So yeah, kudos for like using some different kind of equipment to kind of get the glue and the tape and whatnot off. So hey, I know we have somebody else who's used like a tongue scraper. One of our influencers has done that. So hey, I mean, as long as your girlfriend's not using that for her hair afterwards, because that'd be kind of nasty. So I hope you're not letting her use that afterwards. That's all I have to say. But yeah, that's actually pretty smart. I like that one. All right. Me. Oh, we spot. Had a bad experience with the third-party installer and the Walker tape and system. Bad swelling causing hyperpigmentation. Oh wow. Okay. Well, that's, you know what? There's so many Walker tape products. I know a lot of the times, even when I have people come in, I ask them what they're using on their head or what they have used, and they say, oh, it's Walker tape. Walker tape has so many kind of different products, from like Ultra Hold, Mighty Tight. They have their own like white glue, like Ghost Bond. They have all their tapes. All of them can be made in different ways. For example, you know, if you're going into, say, the Ultra Hold glue is acrylic based, which has a tendency of actually causing the most issues on an individual. So if they might have used the Ultra Hold glue, that could have caused you a lot of problems. I know that has a tendency of being one of the glues that actually people are the most sensitive to. So it might be that product. But you know what? There are other lines out there, and you can always try something else. I am sorry you had that experience though, because it's really hard to you know, feel comfortable using a system if you already had a bad experience. But yeah, you could feel free to look at our website. We do have a lot of different products. I don't know if you know what they used, but feel free to try something different. Even the Ghost Bond has a tendency of being really gentle on the scalp because it is a water-based glue. I would say I've literally had 0 individuals have allergic reactions to that one so far. Not saying that it can't happen, but maybe it's something that would be a little bit more gentler on your scalp, and maybe try something like that out. All right. But thanks for the question.
This is where the magic comes in.
Okay, what do we got here?
We have ourselves here. That's a water pick, baby.
That? Is that?
We're gonna get right in there.
That's one
Take
of
that
those
gunk out. And it goes a little something like this.
Doing to your teeth? Oh, wow. Okay. To kind of get the last little bits of tape out.
This is where the magic comes in.
Oh, that's actually
pretty cool.
We
have ourselves here.
I mean, I hope you're not using that on your teeth after, but you know.
And we're gonna get right in there.
If you get high pressure enough to kind of get those little bits of glue out,
and it goes a little something like this.
That's actually pretty smart. But yeah, don't be using it on your mouth afterwards, that's for sure. And I mean, hey, I mean, you can definitely use something like that. I do know those things are pretty expensive though, like at least $100, I think. So as long as you're not also using it on your teeth, I think you should be fine. It kind of makes sense though, the pressure of the water kind of getting in there and getting the gunk out. Yeah, and it's not going to do any harm to the actual lace itself. So hey, if it works, cool, sure. I mean, I'm not using mine on that, but I don't wear a hair system either, but you know, seriously, I don't. I'm just going to say I'm wearing a system now. All right, next one. That is kind of a cool idea though.
Got me doing things I never knew. If you ain't been, I'm telling you.
Got a nice installation going on. Oh, wow, that's nice. Ooh, night and day. Wow. I mean, literally took, I want to see the beginning again. I have to watch that again. Holy smokes. Like, you know, I think the great thing about an installation, a good installation with a good haircut, you know, even, you know, changing the whole look itself. Like, this guy literally looks, I would even say 20 years younger. Like, honestly. Like, the hair was too long. It was too shaggy. He gave him a nice do. It looks really good. One of the things I want to kind of point out, guys, is one of the great things the stylist did here was he didn't actually put the gray that he has in his beard in his hair. So he kind of went with a lighter tone. It actually almost looks like his hair has been like bleached out by the sun, goes into the darker color, and then he's got the gray in the beard. Your hair at the top shouldn't necessarily match your beard unless your hair at the sides is the same color as your beard. So this was actually great. What a beautiful installation. What a great job. Kudos. Kudos whoever did this one. This one was actually a really nice transformation. I'm telling you, the guy looks like $1 million. So great job. Great job. Next. What the fudge nut? Okay. Wow, that's giving me anxiety. Okay, so you guys just gonna keep this on loop and keep getting hot flashes. Okay, so what isn't wrong with this picture? Okay, so number one, okay, so the first thing I can see is that they didn't have a clean bottle when they were squirting on that Ghost Spawn. So one of the big things is if it gets gunked up, it's not clean. When you try to squeeze it out, that little tip will squirt out and you'll get Ghost Spawn everywhere. I have had it happen. It is actually pretty stressful. I don't use my Ghost Spawn like this for that reason because, yeah, like, I mean, now you've just made a whole mess. Okay, but the biggest issue is, like, number one, other than the glump, like the glob of Ghost Spawn on that system, that's lace. You are not 100% supposed to put any kind of glue on a lace system. The only time you could, the only time you can put lace, I mean, I can't even talk right now. Ghost Spawn on a lace system? No, with the lace system is if you're putting it on the head, let it cure completely, and then put the system over top. You're literally squishing that Ghost Spawn into the lace, which is then going to get into the hair on the underside. So, like, I don't even know how that's drying completely. Is she letting it dry completely? Like, okay, so first she gobbed it. Then she got her Ghost Spawn working. Now she's adding more Ghost Spawn. And she's like brushing it into the lace. So, yeah, this gives me anxiety, like, to the next level. You definitely do not want to do this, guys. You can do this with a skin base, but not a lace base. Only glue you can use with the lace base, yes, is Ghost Spawn, but you have to use it on the skin. You have to put it onto the head, let it dry, put another layer. You can go up to like 6 layers if you want, but you have to let them dry. When they're completely clear, you then put the system over top of it, and it actually adheres that way. But because it's dry, it's not going to now seep through the lace and go into the hair, because that is going to go into the hair. Guaranteed, it's going to be seeped into the hair. So, nope, we don't want to do that. Please come see me. I can show you how to do it. Okay. Yeah, so, yeah. Next.
From old school shit.
Oh!
You couldn't walk a
Oh! Oh! The poor guy. Oh my gosh. Oh. Oh, I feel so bad for him. Those girls are just, they don't even know what to think. Okay, I don't know if this was for what, for like views. or what this was. This was planned. I have seen a few videos like this. This is the one thing I would say when I'm doing a new installation, this is one of the things that I would say like a lot of clients are really worried about is like, oh, is it going to blow off? Am I going to do something and it's just going to come off? Something like that only happens either number one, they've planned it to do it just for like views or laughs or whatever, or number two, they needed a service and they just kept pulling it off, putting it off, and then that adhesive just it wasn't sticky enough anymore, and then they went and did something crazy, and then it flies up. This guy would have already known that his hairpiece was loose. I can guarantee you, because I mean, one of the things, it just had a gentleman the other day and we were doing his hair and we were drying it and we were styling it and he's like, wow, you can really like brush it. I'm like, yeah, because the hair system's not going to come off like that if you have it on properly, you've used proper adhesion, and you know, it's freshly done. So that is not going to happen. Something like that happens if, you know, they using barely any tape, if any tape at all. They're doing it for laughs. It's not a norm. So, but that was still funny. I don't know if that actually happened to that guy, but if it did, I feel bad for him because that was pretty funny. All right. All right. So we are cutting. What are we doing? We're cutting a skin-based system. I'm assuming we're using a template, or he had a template, he cut it. Okay, so I'm not a razor fan, and just because it's just never been my thing. Okay, so see, and this is why I'm not a razor fan, because that's what it looks like when I use a razor. It's all jaggedy and I'm not on the line. So the thing is, when you're doing a template of your piece, number one, you have to take in consideration the template is exactly where your hair needs to be. So if I'm cutting past that line, I've already just made it bigger and it's not going to sit on there correctly. You either have to get right to the line or clean that line right off. I prefer to use, I prefer to use scissors because for me, I feel I get a cleaner cut when I'm using a scissor. I can go in, I can, you know, get exactly on the line where I want it to go. Versus with a razor, I do feel like even when I do a razor, it's jaggedy like that. Now, that's not to say people can't use razors. You can definitely, but his wasn't, that was not sharp enough. Like that should have been a little bit, he was using an X-Acto knife. Literally, it should be a lot, like you should be able to go in and literally slice it really clean. I have one of our other stylists, that's what she likes to use. She likes to use an X-Acto knife or a razor, like from a straight razor, she'll use that. But literally she starts at one end and she literally just, it's one clean slice. You shouldn't have jagged marks to it whatsoever, because that's what's going on your head and you don't want jagged edges like that. You want that nice clean line. That's essentially what you want, not jagged edges. So forever is doing this video. I get the point what you're doing. You want to get closer to the line and you just want to make sure you're using a sharper knife so that it's going to actually clean that line up really nice. It should be one smooth motion, not the jagged motions that you're currently doing. All right. Next one. Oh, that was... Okay. What? Did he just load the system off to scratch his head?
For real, for real.
Oh, shit. Sorry. Oh, I didn't say that. Oh, live TV. Okay. All right. That's good. Okay, so number one, okay, the haircut looks pretty good. Now, talking about itchy heads, I think one of the things that people actually have when they have hair system is probably an itchy head. The great thing what he's doing is he's not scratching his system. So kudos to him for not scratching his system, because honestly, scratching your system can actually lead to hair loss, holes in the system, and you know, just the system itself actually wears down a lot faster, so you don't want to actually scratch the system. This is actually really funny because he obviously doesn't care that anybody knows he's wearing one. Now, a lot of people, what they'll do is they'll actually wear like a daily tape or a tape that's only going to last like a couple days. So they can take their system off a lot of the time and just kind of like take it off, let their head breathe, maybe go to sleep without it on. So that is an option because yes, an itchy head is actually one of the things that does affect people when they are wearing hair systems. From what I know, they do get used to it. Usually it's at the very beginning. You do get a very itchy head because you're not used to having that thing on your head the whole time, right? It gets hot. Right now is an amazing time to start wearing a system if you decide you want to wear a system because essentially you are starting to wear a system as the weather is getting colder. So you're not sweating as much, your head's not getting as hot, it's not getting as irritated. So it's a good time to kind of try a system now. But hey, I mean, this guy looks like he's got it all figured out. So good on him. That's great. Okay, next one. All right. Okay. Not bad. That looks good. Cool looking haircut. He's got it shorter faded on the side, a little longer and messy at the top. Actually, this looks like that's a really nice nice installation. It looks very good. The blend looks nice. Great job. Color match is like spot on. I hope she's cleaning up those marks. I'm sure she is. But yeah, I mean, the rest of it looks like really good. That looks actually really nice. Great job. All right, so she's applying the glue, okay. And she's applying a glue to the head, nice. And then she's doing, so now I just want to kind of point out, she did apply glue to a mono system. And she did Ghost Bond too, it looked like, or some sort of white glue, which is fine because the fact is that she did it to the poly part of the system, not the mono part. So as long as you're not putting anything on that mono, because believe me, if you put glue on mono, you're not getting it off. That is going to stay on there and it's not coming off. So it looks like she just did the parameter, which looks pretty good. So, I mean, the haircut looks pretty spot on. Her fade looks really good. I'm just kind of watching again. Yeah, it looks like she just did kind of like the glue. And then at the front, yeah, good job. Looks nice. Good job. Great, great, great.
Lyrics for stuff.
Oh, what'd you do? It's a great part of live. I don't get to actually, oh, there I am. Okay, so, what are we watching here? Okay, he's cutting his template. All right, he's doing it on the head. I mean, that is definitely a way of doing it as long as it doesn't move around. Okay. I love those kind of sinks, man. They're the best sinks ever. Okay, so he's doing the hair. Was he doing? Oh, no, he's not. I thought he was doing the haircut with the hair system on. Well, he's cutting the hair system with the hair system on, but looks good. Nice job. Color match looks pretty good. Yeah, not bad. Did a nice job. Do I have any more? These are fun. Another one here. Okay, so we got an installation going on. Oh yes, I love people. They love using lots of glue. Anyways. So there's two ways of doing things when it comes to Ghost Bond. And I mean, I'm not going to say one's right and one's wrong. So you can do one of two things. When you're applying Ghost Bond. You could do a lot of Ghost Bond, and then you're waiting a long time to have it all dry before you can put it down. Looks great though. Great job, Jeremy. I know who that is. Or you can go in and do different layers of Ghost Bond, wait till it dries, and then put another layer, and then put another layers. Everybody likes to do it the different way. I personally like to do it in smaller layers and let it dry in between. The reason being is I feel I'm not waiting friggin' forever for it to dry. I also am of a different school. Some people like to put all the glue on the system and put it on the head. I prefer to put it on the head and let it dry on the head. The reason being for that is that it's going to dry faster on the head than it is on the system because the heat of the head actually dries the glue faster. So if I'm going to do majority of my glue, I'm going to actually put majority of the glue on the head of the client and let that dry. Even if I want to put a lot of it, I'm going to still do it on the client because the client's heat is going to actually dry that glue down faster than on the actual the base of the system. The base is going to take a lot longer to dry. I'm sure he probably waited at least 10 minutes to have that dry. So just something to keep in mind. You can kind of switch it around, put majority of your glue on the head, let the heat of the head actually dry that glue down, and then go from there and have maybe go around the perimeter of the system itself. You're just going to save yourself some time. I'm always about time. I hate taking too long with anything. So. But yeah, great installation, great job. He looks awesome. Yay. Night and day. Good job. All right. Oh, and there he is himself taking off his hair system. All right, so he's got some product. He's doing the whole cotton way of removing the product, which is a great way of doing it. It kind of soaks up the actual adhesive. So, I mean, the great thing about seeing these guys do this, they're going to show you like, hey, listen, I do it myself. Yeah, he's using the credit card method. I mean, this is what we use a lot of the times in the salon. Shampoo. Yeah, always make sure you're not like agitating your system, like, because that's going to really go in and just make it more knotted and everything else. He's making sure his head's nice and clean. He's using his scalp protector. He's going to blow dry the Ghost Bond to make sure. And see, he's putting it down looking in the mirror. So doing it that way, he actually gets a view of what he's doing, where it's going to go on his head. So that's actually a great way of doing it. And then he's good to go. Great job, dude. All right. Okay, so we are now, that's another hair system. This is a gray, not too shabby. Growth orders, okay, I'm just kind of watching her video here. Okay, she's using the M111. Great piece. Good density. IB40, which means the color is 1B, 40% gray. And again, the Ghost Bond, put it on. So I do notice a lot of people like to put a lot of glue on the piece again, and it's not that it's wrong. I don't want to say that it's a wrong thing to do, but you're going to save yourself a lot of time if you actually, again, like I said, put the glue on the head, because the heat of the head is actually going to dry that glue down faster. So if you actually mark where you want the system to sit and then put the glue on, the glue is actually going to dry down faster. It's going to save you time in the end. Skin bases really do not, they don't dry very fast. So yeah, but it ended up looking really good. So good job. And yeah, nice, good installation. Color match was perfect. Good job, good job. All right, okay. This gentleman here, oh, he's doing clips. Okay, so this is a clip system. Clip systems are really hard to look as natural as, say, the rest of this system. This actually looks a very good job. The reason why a clip system isn't going to be as natural as, say, a glue-on or a tape-on system is because you have to think of it as a tape-on system. We're removing the hair and we're butting that system right up against the hair. So you have that really nice blend between the system and the hair, right? It's almost seamless. When you put on a clip system, you have the head and then you're putting the system. So there's like that layer there and it's clipping on top of the layer. So there's a little bit of a beveled edge. It's very, very, very hard to make a clipped on system look absolutely perfect because of that, because it's sitting on top. But this, she did a really good job considering. She did a nice work. So yeah. So if you ever decide to wear a system and you really, really do not want to shave your head, you can definitely go in with a system and you want to clip it on. And that can actually work for you also. So there's always an alternative. If you're not ready to tape or glue a piece on, you can use clips. Definitely. Great job. And okay. See here. He sectioned them out nicely. Oh, wow. That looks good. Nice fade. See? I like to see a hair system that I can't really tell is a hair system. Like that looked, and I mean, again, 10 years younger, definitely. Nice fade in there. The main key when you're doing a nice, good installation, like I can see with this one, is that he didn't take off too much hair. So he left enough of his hair, his own bio hair. Like he didn't go and start like, shaving halfway down his head or anything like that. He literally just removed the hair that was thinning and customized a smaller piece. And it just kind of made a really nice, wow, that's really good. I don't know, between this one and the guy with the beard, those two are my favorites so far. Both really great.
Let me take this off. All right, that's better.
And the front too. And he just acts like it's nothing, man. Like he's just like, yeah, whatever. This is just my hair, man. She almost spits out her food. Oh, that's great. See, I don't know. It's hard to tell if that was done on purpose or not because he looks like he was genuinely like, wow. So, so anyway, again, I don't know what kind of adhesive these people are using, but either they're not using a strong enough glue or tape or they're waiting too long to get a service. So, this stuff is going to happen if you're not taking care of your system well enough. But yeah, that's hilarious though. That was a good one. Okay. All right. We got this gentleman and he's gonna, okay. Let's see. This looks like it's an all lace piece. Nice good gray. Yeah, it's really thin. So it's a really good natural looking piece, which is nice because, a lot of these guys, they don't have a lot of hair on the sides and the back. You want something that's going to match density wise. That's actually really nice. Really good job. Good job. That looks great. Nice color match, everything. Yeah, nice. I like that one. Good one. All right. Still like the bearded guy the best. Are we good? Are we done? Was that all of them? Yay! Okay, we finished. Okay, so the winner of the best one, I don't know, man. I mean, the best installation, I really liked the guy with the beard. I think that one was just, that one was just amazing. I do like the color melt. The reason for this is, I mean, his color at the top could have been a little bit darker, but the reason why I like it is because there's so much stuff going on with his beard too, that the actual kind of like diffusion of color from lighter to darker looks really good. And he's got the gray and the light in the beard too, which just looks amazing. I just think the whole look it just tied its whole thing together. So like, that's probably, I would have to say that one was my favorite. Of the guy with the really, really, really short fade. That one was really good too, where I couldn't even tell that he was wearing a system. They didn't take a lot off the top. Nope, not that one. That was good. No, there was the other one. Nope, that was good too. It was near him. Yeah, that one looks so good. What a great job. Nice. So yeah, that one really was great too. Those are probably my favorites. However, the worst one, I mean, these guys with their hair systems just flying off, okay, you know what, guys, you need to tape your systems better. But the worst one was probably the ghost spawn on the lace system. That one, I hate to say, whoever's doing this, please come see us. We'll give you a discount with Evolve. I will show you exactly what you can and can't do. And why. I don't just say you can't do it, but I explain to you why and the reasons behind what we do. So yeah, join up for our Evolve class and we'll give you a discount. But yes, so now we're gonna go, I think do we have any questions? Anything going on? Do I necessarily have to cover the adhesive with cotton, or is there another way to remove it faster? Okay, so there is other ways of removing adhesive. So for example, if you're using a ghost spawn, believe it or not, you don't even have to soak them. You can actually use warm water and it literally will start to ball off. So when I take a system with ghost spawn, for example, I will go in and get some really, really warm water. I kind of rinse off the piece itself. Now I'm usually wearing like latex gloves, not latex or whatever those gloves are nowadays. And I literally will start to kind of like ball up the glue and literally just roll it off. The water actually breaks it down and it just starts to ball off. So that's with Ghost Spawn. If you're using the Ultra Holder, the Mighty Tight, the clear glues, yeah, the cotton's the best way of doing it. Because what happens is the cotton is kind of absorbs, sticks to that glue, so it makes it easier to clean it off. So yeah, the cotton for those ones is definitely ideal. And I mean, you can just get it from the dollar store, so it's not like it's that expensive or anything like that. She spread too much. Too much was the understatement here. Yeah, she spread way too much Ghost Bond on a lace system. If you can't get enough out, you might want to clean that tip. Usually, I don't know if I have one here. It's not open though. No, it's not open. If you open the tip, there's the tip that you can kind of open up and then squeeze it out. Sometimes what happens, it gets clogged if you didn't clean it out properly. You can literally pull that whole thing out and just kind of clean out any gunk in there and then put everything back together. We have had that happen, so I have done that in the past. Or honestly, the easiest way of dealing with Ghost Bond, my experience, is to literally, I just squeeze it into a little bottle. So I take the whole lid off and take everything off and literally put it into like a little, those little plastic shot glasses you can get from the dollar store. And I use a brush. That's my preferred way of doing it. I don't like to just start squeezing everything out. I feel like you lose your knowledge of how much you're putting on there. And honestly, money is money, man. Like, last thing you want to do is use too much product if you don't want to, as a business, as an individual. So I try to go in with a little bit as possible. I put in a cup, I'll use it that way. If I need more, I put a little bit more in, rather than just going crazy and spreading it all over the place and using way too much product. So that's just my feedback on the Ghost Spawn thing. But try to clean your little knob, because it does get really gunked up, and sometimes you have to go in there with a needle, kind of clean it out. And just when you're done using your Ghost Spawn, make sure you close it really securely so it doesn't dry out and doesn't get like that in the first place. Tape from a thin skin. I don't personally like using tape on thin skins, period. Just because it is very, very, very tricky on taking it off. You've got to let it soak. You've got to let it soak till all of that tape, the residue comes right off, and it's just going to literally peel off. If there's still pull on it, you run the risk of ripping your system. That's why I don't suggest going in with tape on a thin skin. But if you are going to do that, yeah, you have to let it soak enough so that all that adhesive is literally just going to slide off. Next one. Oh, thank you. Ghost Bond Platinum is great, by the way. Much better Ghost Bond XL. Helpful hint. Yeah, I mean, you know what? There are so many different Ghost Bonds. You really have to find the one that works for you. I always say that, I know I have my favorites, but I always like to tell people, like, you know what, one shoe doesn't fit everybody. So you have to find what works for you, because, you know, your chemistry could work better with one of the other ones. And we have, like, I don't know how many we have. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think there's like 6 of them or something like that. So, you know, if something's not working for you, try a different one and just see which one's going to work the best. The great thing is we do have the little bottles. So with the little bottles, you can really kind of try different ones out and see which one's going to work without committing to a big bottle. Because I do know they get pricey. But yeah, definitely. No other questions? No questions. What? 1 minute? I don't know what your signals mean. What's that? No more? One more? Oh, we're writing questions? Oh, okay. Yeah, so write your questions, guys, if you have any other questions. We have a few more minutes before we're going to get going. But if there's anything else you guys want to know or any feedback you'd like to give, do certain Ghost Bonds work better with specific systems? No, I don't think there's any one that works one better with another system. You can really, like I said, you don't want to use Ghost Bond on monofilament. You don't want to use it directly on lace. You can use it on poly, you can use it on skin. You can use any of them on those. If you're going to use lace, then you really want to make sure you're only putting it on the skin and then placing the lace on top. But other than that, there really isn't a specific kind of Ghost Bond that works better with a different material. It's really based on your chemical composition, what's going on with you, and what your activity levels are like. Those things are really going to make a difference. One thing I have realized, and you know, I'm always learning myself, and I do like to share, is one of the things we've noticed, individuals who sweat a lot or get very hot, believe it or not, more layers is actually better. So if you are having an issue where your Ghost Bond is breaking down too fast, use more layers. So going in and maybe adding an extra layer or two, letting it dry in between and putting another layer. What's going to happen is the heat from the head is actually going to make that Ghost Bond break down slower, so then it's going to actually stick on the head longer. It's not going to break down as fast. So that is something that I actually just realized or just found out. So try, if you do have an oily skin, you get very hot, or your Ghost Bond is breaking down too fast, try maybe adding extra layers and see if that actually makes it hold a little bit longer. No other questions? We're all good? Give anybody a couple more minutes, and then I get to go home. Anyway, guys, I don't know if that's a question I'm going to ask you guys. We're always looking for ideas for our next live. Anything you guys would like me to kind of touch on. If you have any ideas, feel free to add them in the comments, because honestly, we're always looking for new ideas for our lives, things to talk about, touch on. What would you like me to talk about? Because honestly, you know, I'm always looking for different ideas on things we can actually go over with you guys to keep you guys informed, etc., etc. But yeah, so if you feel like adding some comments, that would be great. We're always looking for new ideas. And if that's it for now, oh, why do gray hair systems seem to be frizzier after cutting them than the dark colored ones? Okay, so it all depends on what kind of gray hair you're using. So number one, if you're using synthetic gray, some of the problem is it's synthetic. It's not real hair, so it's not going to react exactly the same as real hair. Synthetic gray hair has a tendency of reacting to heat, to blow dryers, to, like, you can open your oven, it's going to react. So those kind of things are actually going to affect that synthetic gray. It's like a plastic almost. So you have to understand it's not going to be the same as your normal hair. You open a barbecue with that heat and it could actually affect the gray hair. So I have noticed synthetic gray hair has a tendency of starting to look a little wiry or frizzy. And that is because of the actual chemical composition of the hair itself. It's not real hair. So it's not going to act like real hair when it comes to heat or anything like that. If it really bothers you, I suggest maybe getting yourself a natural, a human gray hair, which is obviously going to be actual hair, and then going from there. But yeah, when it comes to synthetic gray hair, the lifespan is not as long as you would think because of the fact it has such a high reaction to heat, humidity, all of that kind of stuff. So keep that in mind. If you're one to like to style your hair a lot, you know, you might have to get more systems in a year than say if you're not. Anything else today, guys? Some ideas. What kind of ideas? What, some good ones? Anything good? We're good? All right. Okay, guys. Well, thanks again for joining us and doing this this live with me today. I will be back next month. So we will be back, I believe. When's our next one, Daniela? In a month? What month are we in? October? End of October? Or are we in the beginning of November? Somewhere around there. We'll let you guys know. Anyways, thanks again for joining us. And I hope everybody has a safe and fun evening. And we will see you guys next time. Bye for now.